They say Chinese cars are the future, but what nobody tells you is that this future could be either brilliant or a real nightmare on wheels. In 2025, some brands are making the most advanced, efficient, and affordable cars on the market, while others are selling real ticking time bombs disguised as innovation. And the worst part is that many of these brands are the same ones. In this video, I'll show you the 7 best and the 7 worst Chinese car brands you can find this year. Some will surprise you, and others will make you think twice before signing that contract. Get ready, because what's coming isn't just another ranking. This is the ultimate guide to make sure you don't throw your money away. Picture this: you're at a dealership looking at a Chinese car. The design is modern, the screen is huge, the finishes look luxurious, and honestly, the price sounds too good to be true. They tell you it's electric, that it has a range of over 500 kilometers, that it has voice assistant, cameras everywhere, semi-autonomous driving, and best of all, it costs half of what you'd pay for a similar European or Japanese car. And there you are, standing in front of that beauty, thinking the same thing as thousands of people today. Is it a bargain or a trap on wheels? Because that's how the dilemma begins. In 2025, China isn't just making cars, they're trying to redefine what it means to own one. Chinese brands are no longer synonymous with cheap knockoffs, but with technology, innovation, and unstoppable ambition. But also, in many cases, a lack of quality control, poor after-sale service, and promises that aren't always kept. Right now, more than a dozen Chinese brands are making a strong entry into Latin America, Europe, and even the United States. Some are already outselling traditional brands. Others are popping up like a rainstorm of new logos that nobody knows, but that sound futuristic. And this is where the big question arises. Which brands are really worth it? And which ones could turn your investment into a headache on wheels? Throughout this video, we're going to walk that fine line between what's impressive and what's concerning. You'll get to know the 7 best Chinese car brands for 2025, as well as the 7 that have received the worst reviews from mechanics, users, and experts. And I'm not going to talk to you using technical jargon or sales talk. I'm going to talk to you like a friend who's about to spend thousands of dollars and needs to hear the plain truth. Because when it comes to your money, there's no room for naivety. In a world where electric cars are no longer the future but the present, China has stopped copying and started leading. And these 7 brands aren't just setting the pace. Some of them are leaving behind traditional giants with decades of experience. Number 1. BYD, the electric titan that just keeps growing. BYD, or Build Your Dreams, isn't just a poetic name. It's a brand that has achieved the unthinkable, selling more electric cars than Tesla in some quarters. What's their secret weapon? Models like the BYD Seal and the BYD Dolphin, which combine sleek design, great range, and a value for money that's almost unbelievable. Imagine paying just over $30,000 for an electric sedan that can go more than 500 kilometers on a single charge and comes loaded with screens, sensors, and digital assistance. But it's not about the features. The brand has focused on blade batteries, safer and longer lasting than many competitors. The problem? We'll get to that later because yes, it's also on the list of the worst. Number 2. MG, a Chinese heart with a British accent. It might surprise you, but MG Morris Garage was a historic British brand that's now owned by the Chinese giant SAIC. The mix, European tradition with Eastern innovation. Their most popular models in 2025, like the electric MG4 or the MG Marvel R SUV, offer a sleek design, excellent range, and materials that can easily compete with those of Hyundai or Peugeot. The most impressive part? Their infotainment system is often considered better than premium brands. MG targets buyers seeking the latest technology without paying a fortune. 3. Changan, the SUV that's quietly earning respect. Changan has been a surprise for many. It's not the most talked about brand, but it's doing things right, steadily and without scandals. The Changan X7 Plus is an SUV that combines power, aerodynamic design, and advanced technology for less than $20,000 in some markets. And yes, it comes with all those features that now seem essential. A 360-degree camera, adaptive cruise control, a 12-inch screen, and even sensors that monitor driver fatigue. The most valuable thing about Changan isn't just what it offers, but the perceived reliability. Few reports of malfunctions, good durability in real-world conditions, and growth that seems sustainable. 4. Geely, the Chinese luxury brand that literally competes with Volvo. Geely plays at both extremes. As the owner of Volvo and part of Mercedes-Benz, it has taken the best of Scandinavian design and fused it with Chinese efficiency. The Geely Manjaro, for example, is an SUV that looks like it came straight out of a European design magazine. Vegan leather, advanced driving assistance, full connectivity, and even smart ambient lighting. The price? Less than $35,000. But be careful, because just like BYD, Geely also has its dark side. There are reports of electronic failures and suspension problems in some models. 5. NIO, science fiction technology on the streets. NIO isn't just a brand, it's a statement of intent. With models like the NIO ET5, the company is pushing the limits of what we think a car can do. Real autonomous driving, batteries that can be swapped in less than 5 minutes, and a user experience designed to win over tech lovers. Did you know that their vehicles greet the driver, automatically adjust the interior environment based on your mood, and can be updated remotely just like a smartphone? Yes, NIO might not be in every country yet, but it's the most futuristic Chinese brand on the market. And if their expansion continues at this pace, they could become the Apple of cars. 6. XPeng, Tesla's direct competitor, and not just because of the design. XPeng has often been nicknamed the Chinese Tesla. But the truth is, their P7 and new G9 SUV are proving that they don't just copy, they actually surpass in some areas. XPeng stands out for its software. Their urban autonomous navigation system is already operating in several Chinese cities, and their models are updated every few weeks with performance improvements, new features, and greater efficiency. Plus, their minimalist and futuristic design has won them a lot of fans among young people. Their strongest point? The real-world range, not what the manufacturer claims. 7. JAC, when China goes sporty. If there's one brand breaking stereotypes, it's JAC, especially with their AION division. The Hyper GT, for example, looks like it came straight out of a science fiction movie. Aerodynamic bodywork, 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds, and all of this with electric power. JAC is going for a sporty design that's still accessible, with top-notch finishes and engines that even surprise longtime car enthusiasts. It's not a very well-known brand outside of Asia yet, but in 2025, they're making solid moves to change that. What you see in the showroom is one thing, but what you experience once the car is yours is something else entirely. Because if there's one thing many Chinese brands have shown, it's that they can sell you heaven, but deliver hell disguised as innovation. And on this list, some brands are going to surprise you because yes, they were among the best. But when you look closely, you find flaws so serious they could put your money, time, or even your safety at risk. Number 1. Geely, when luxury turns into disappointment. Yes, I've already told you great things about Geely, but I also owe you the other side of the story. Users in multiple countries have reported issues with the front suspension, unexpected loss of power, and even sudden electrical blackouts without warning. With models like the Manjaro or the Coolray, some people have had to leave their car in the shop for days because of electronic failures that are hard to diagnose. And the worst part? After-sales service doesn't always measure up. Replacement parts can take months to arrive, warranties don't cover certain defects, and you get a sense of being abandoned right when you need help the most. Number 2. BYD, the giant that also stumbles. Yes, BYD leads in sales, but being on top doesn't mean being perfect. Several users have reported software glitches that freeze screens in the middle of a drive, malfunctions in proximity sensors, and even battery issues in some models, especially in extreme climates. In the Dolphin, for example, bugs have been found that temporarily disable driver assistance features. And in the Seal, there have been cases where the energy regeneration system suddenly malfunctions. In an electric car, that's no small detail. BYD can dominate market but still needs to improve technical reliability. 3rd, MG. Good-looking outside, unpredictable inside. MG is marketed as a stylish and affordable option, but many owners have had a bittersweet experience. Some report unstable energy consumption, especially in eco mode, and failures in the regenerative system. Others have run into difficulties finding specific replacement parts, even for relatively new models like the MG5 or the MG Marvel R. And it's not just a technical issue. Customer service has been described as inconsistent, with authorized centers not always prepared to handle advanced electric technology. 4. Chery. Nice technology, but very fragile. Chery has seen a sales boom in some countries thanks to its SUVs like the Tiggo 7 Pro and Tiggo 8 Pro. But behind the marketing, there's a long list of complaints. Water leaks in the cabin, even in new vehicles, problems with parking sensors, and cameras that simply stop working. The ADAS system malfunctions, with sudden braking or pointless alerts. And of course, there's the classic problem with many Chinese cars: assembly quality. Cars that start to creak or vibrate after just a few months of use. 5th, Zeekr. Luxury with an expiration date. Zeekr entered the market as a premium, futuristic brand with spectacular interiors and cutting-edge technology. But what was supposed to be a dream has ended in frustration for many. Reports indicate persistent problems with navigation systems that reboot on their own, failures in the driver assistance software, and most seriously, erratic behavior in the automatic transmission. For a brand targeting the high-end segment, reliability shouldn't be a suggestion, it should be a requirement. 6th, FAW Hongqi. Chinese luxury that failed to mature. FAW Hongqi wants to compete with Mercedes and BMW. In fact, their models look like they came straight out of a premium catalog, but inside, problems are everywhere. Failures in the autonomous driving systems, batteries that drain in just a few days without use, screens that have graphic glitches or simply turn off, and in some cases, the automatic transmission acts erratically, shifting gears with a delay or jerking on the road. 7. Lifan, the brand with the most complaints. Lifan has tried to position itself as an affordable option for people looking for their first car, but that affordability comes at a price, and it's not just financial. The reports are alarming. Brake failures, steering problems, poorly assembled interiors with parts that come loose or vibrate excessively, and most concerning of all, reports of defects in structural components. While it's an affordable brand, going cheap can be costly for safety and durability. Lots of luxury looks, but little mechanical strength. How can BYD, Geely, or MG be on both lists? Isn't a good brand supposed to make good cars and a bad one bad cars? Well, on paper yes, but the automotive market, especially the Chinese one, doesn't work with such simple rules anymore. What happens with Chinese brands is a unique phenomenon. The same company can release brilliant models to the market and, at the same time, problematic ones. Why is that? Let me explain it to you clearly. First, there are huge differences between models. Each model has different development teams, different suppliers, and sometimes even different factories. It's not like traditional brands, where there's a more uniform quality standard. In the Chinese world, things are launched quickly and tested afterward. Second, the pressure to launch new products to the market before anyone else. China is fighting a silent war to dominate the automotive world and, to win, it's willing to sacrifice stability for speed. That's the price of accelerated innovation. Mistakes are paid for later, and you don't want to be part of that later. Third, a lack of strict controls outside of China. Within their own territory, many Chinese brands comply with their own regulations, but when they export to countries in Latin America or even Europe, they don't always meet the same standards. Fourth, poor after-sales service, even from major brands. One of the main complaints from users is, "My car broke down, but the repair shop didn't know how to fix it." And we're not talking about unknown brands. This has happened with MG, with Geely, with Chery, even with BYD. The problem isn't just that something breaks down. It's that there's no one who knows how to fix it. Fifth, young manufacturers, weak networks. Many Chinese brands are less than 10 years old. Yes, they're growing very quickly, but often they're growing faster than they can handle. And you shouldn't have to pay for their learning curve. We've reached the key point. After everything we've seen, the successes, the mistakes, the standout brands, and the disappointing ones, is it worth taking a chance on a Chinese car this year? The answer isn't a straightforward yes or no. It depends, but it depends on you, because if you buy well-informed, you could end up with a modern, high-tech, efficient, and affordable car. But if you just get carried away by excitement or by the salesperson, you might end up regretting it every time you start it. Here are the keys to making the right decision. 1. Don't buy for the brand, check the model. 2. Check service in your city, not just the country. 3. If it's electric, check everything about the battery, for cheap things may be very expensive. 5. Never buy without reviewing the warranty contract fully. Look around you. In cities all over the world, Chinese cars are already on the streets. They're no longer a promise for the future, they're no longer a rarity, they're a reality. And the most interesting thing is that they arrived without us even noticing. You saw them parked, you saw them drive by, but you didn't know they were Chinese. They design with style, make bold promises, and sell in numbers that scare the competition. If this video helped you better understand what's behind Chinese car brands, leave us a comment. China is no longer reaching the automotive market. China is already here, and in 2025, if anything is clear, it's that the future is already on display in the showrooms. And if you're thinking about buying a new car this year, share this with someone else. It could save you from a bad experience or help you make a great purchase.